Good afternoon, everyone. This is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my monthly Techniques Tuesday class. I'm going to give it a few more seconds for everyone to join me this morning or this afternoon. Now, my iPad is dead, so I'm trying to get it going here. I just plugged it in. So while I try to get that going, I'm just going to make a few announcements. My new door prize for the month of April is the Tea Together stamp set. This will be available for anyone that places an order through my online store by email or all of my Paper Pumpkin customers. Oh, it looks like my iPad's coming up. Let me get signed on because right now I can't see you guys. And I also want to remind you all that April 10th is the last day to sign up for the April Paper Pumpkin kit that will be coming. And we have been told that the stamp set is going to be one of our distinctive lines where we have the very photographic looking images. So make sure you sign up by April 10th if you want to receive the April kit. And let's see what else I've got. One other announcement, tomorrow I'll be live again at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And hold on, I just want to see if I can get you guys on my iPad. It's still loading. I'll be on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on my Stampin' Ink Designs group page. If you guys haven't found me yet, this is a group page that's open to everyone. You just need to search for Stampin' Ink Designs. Ask to join and I'll approve you. Because tomorrow I'm hosting my episode number 4 of my afternoon tea time and a card. And I'm actually going to be showing you guys how to create a punch art hydrangea flower. It's a really pretty card and you'll have to wait tomorrow to see it. Okay, it looks like I'm on. Just give me another second here so I can find you on my video. I went to get on my iPad and it was completely dead. Okay, here we go. So now I can see you guys. Now the card for today, the technique I'm using is actually using some blends markers. I'm going to be using 3 colors, Rich Razzleberry, Poppy Parade, and Bermuda Bay. All 3 of these are the darker colors, the darker shade. I'm also using a stamping spritzer with rubbing alcohol inside. And this is the card I'm going to show you how to create. So the technique is actually the background. It's the rubbing alcohol blends marker on glossy paper background. Isn't that pretty? So let me show you what we need for supplies. I'm actually just using the 1 sentiment for stamped images. It comes from the Accented Blooms, and it's the one that says, Always Thinking of You. I've gone ahead and cut out the 2 flowers, and that's from the Sunshine Wishes dies. Also need a piece of window sheet. I just have a piece here that measures 6 by 6 inches. Trying to find the die. I'm using this die in tomorrow's class too. So this is the die that I use to cut out the flowers that comes from the Sunshine Wishes. I'm using Poppy Parade textured weave ribbon, the red rhinestones, Poppy Parade ink, and for the card base, Rich Razzleberry, 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So let me go ahead and fold that. The designer paper I'm using is this red, the Poppy Parade with some stitch lines in it, which comes from the Needlepoint Nook Designer Series paper. I'm using this pattern right here. This is still available in the Occasions catalog. I've got a piece of glossy paper. You can see how shiny that is. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to go ahead and cut it after we do the technique. And lastly, I've got a little piece of Whisper White for the banner. That measures 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. Now I'm going to move everything over and work on my counter space because it gets wet and it makes a mess. I'm going to bring in some paper towels. And then this is the window sheet. You probably can't see it as I'm showing it. I'm going to bring in the 3 Blends markers and the spritzer with the rubbing alcohol. Now all we're going to do is use the wide tip. And we're just going to add color. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I'm going to use all 3 colors. What I'm going to try to do is make sure I have enough there to cover my cardstock piece, my glossy cardstock. You kind of have to work fast because the Blends marker do end up drying some. Now here's where the magic comes in. You use the rubbing alcohol and you spray over the Blends marker. You spray a lot because you want it to be very wet and you want to re-moisten what has dried. Now I'm going to take the glossy paper, turn it with the glossy side down. Push down. You're actually going to see some of the ink come out of the edges. And you just want to leave it in there a little bit to make sure it soaks up the alcohol. And then we're going to peel this over and look at that. Look how pretty that is. Now, normally I would let this dry on its own, but I'm going to use the heat tool just so I can go ahead and use my sheet for today. So I'm going to make a little bit of noise. It will dry fast because it's rubbing alcohol. So this is a neat technique to do with your Blends markers. You can see that it's drying really quickly. And as I'm drying, the cardstock is actually starting to lay down flat. Now I am going to turn this over just to dry the edges. And I'm going to flip it over one more time just to flatten it out again. So see how neat that was? And it's still very shiny because it's on the glossy paper. Now I'm just going to show you, because I used some vivid colors today. Let me bring my, my pack of paper back in. I did one before this one and I used the lighter shade, and you can see that it dries so much lighter that you can hardly see it. I think I had used mint macaron and probably, I think it was the light Calypso Coral. I had 3 colors in there, but it's a little too light. So it's better to use the vivid colors. And then on this one, I just used 2 colors. One of the Pineapple Punch Dark and then some Calypso Coral. Now let me bring in my paper trimmer. So I think when you're doing this, it's better to use a larger sheet than what you're going to need, because it does wet the edges and you can see a little border there. So now I'm just going to cut that off. And this is actually going to measure 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm just cutting 1/4 inch off each side. And I haven't tried this with any of the other colors other than the ones I showed you. So I think the navy would be pretty with some pink maybe. I mean, you could go crazy. You could add more than 2 colors, more than 3 colors. And there's the designer paper. So Jeannie is asking, did you use just 2 paper towels on top of your grid surface? Yes, I did. And let me show you. So I got 2 layers here. And it actually didn't really go through too much on the second side. So 2 layers was plenty. Now let's go ahead and glue the glossy paper. I would love to see what you guys do if you try this. Okay, here's the glossy paper layer. So next I'm going to add the two little flower images that I cut out, the little die cuts. And I'm just using liquid glue. The first one I use as is, and I bring it down right down in the corner. Press down. The next one I'm going to trim just a little. So I took off about a 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to also layer this right in the corner and just add it so it layers on top of the first one, just a tad. Next is my ribbon. And I'm just going to create, I should bring the other card back in so you guys can see it. Let me just add a knot. So just a single knot. And I don't pull it too tight. I want the knot to lay flat. So the trick is to not pull it too tight. Okay. And let's bring in a glue dot. Where's my end? I can't find my end. There it is. And I'm just going to add that right here to one of the flowers. Next is the sentiment with the Poppy Parade ink. And I'm actually going to stamp it more towards the right so I can flag the end. Oh, it was upside down and I still did it straight. But now it's going the wrong way. That's okay. I'm just gonna go with it anyway. I thought I had it right side up, but I didn't. Okay, that's gonna go right here, and I just smudged it. Let's start over. No, I can't do that. Hold on a second. You know what? I'm just going to add this right here. I'm going to have to do another one. I just smudged it with my finger. That's okay. I'm just going to lightly lay that down so you guys know where it goes. That's what happens when you're live. Now I'm just going to add some rhinestone jewels to the background. And if you don't have any of these red ones, you can actually take a Poppy Parade Blends marker and color our regular rhinestones so you make your own. Okay, so look how different this came out. I used the same colors blends, but this one has a little bit more of the Bermuda in it, and then this one has more of the Poppy Parade. So that's my card for today. I hope you liked it, and make sure you share my video. I'll pick a winner to win one of these cards, and I will fix this sentiment here. I'll add one just like this one. And make sure you join me tomorrow for my afternoon tea time and a card on my group page. I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. So this was a quick card today, but I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.